Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and listen, I know I'm late. I know. Now, what had happened was between the time change that's kicking my ass and me really not understanding what's happening in this episode, it took me a minute to get down here, so now I'm here. But I can't tell you that I know what the hell was going on in this episode. Let's just get into it. I don't know why Quad was stretched out in a casket in this episode. I don't know what came into her spirit and told her that was a good idea, but let's just get into it. So this week's episode kicks off at Quad's house, where Phaedra and Heavenly are going to visit Quad, and they're going to hash out whatever issues or differences Quad has with the ladies. Quad said she's basically trying to get to the bottom of what level of friendship she and Heavenly are on so that she can meet Heavenly on that level. And in the confessional, she's explaining that when she crashed the bachelorette party, Heavenly was the happiest one to see her, but it threw her off because the last time she saw Heavenly was on the internet taking pictures with the potential ops. And she's referencing a picture that Heavenly and Gregory's new wife, Letitia, took. And she said, yeah, it's a picture with them all teeth, big teeth. I said, well, wait a minute, Quad. Now, just a minute ago, you was telling us how unbothered you were. Now, you were telling us that you were not bitter and unbothered, but this is giving a whole lot of bitter and a whole lot of bothered. So while Phaedra and Quad are catching up, Heavenly shows up, and when Heavenly comes in, she got on a lace jumpsuit and a lace front wig. Phaedra's so damn messy. Phaedra said, oh, this is cute, girl. You got it right today. Just Lord. So Heavenly is making conversation with Phaedra, and she's asking her, did she enjoy the wedding? Phaedra said, well, after all the anxiety, after everything was said and done, I do think the wedding actually turned out good. Quad said, oh, well, were there any ice sculptures or, anything like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we do. You're asking, did they spend any real money? We do. We know exactly what you're saying. What you're saying is it's giving frugal and you gave fabulous, but go ahead. Phaedra said, well, I will tell you the one thing that I hated. The one thing that I hated was how wrinkled the drapes were. Quad said, well, one thing I can tell you is when we were down to the Four Seasons for my wedding, we didn't have wrinkled drapes. Well, girl, your wedding is in the past and it didn't last. So Heavenly said, well, maybe Greg spent all his money on his first wedding. Phaedra was caught up on how quick the ceremony was. She said the thing had to be less than 26 minutes. She said, wasn't no bunch of singing and performing. And black people believe in performances at our ceremonies. Heavenly said, well, I wouldn't know if Luther Vandross was there or not because my ass was outside. I guess the girl was upset with me because the people told me my name was on the list that morning, but by the time I got there that evening, they had unscratched it off. Quad said, ooh, not trouble in the BFF paradise. So Heavenly is trying to plead her case, and she's explaining that I ain't did nothing to the damn girl. If anything, it was Phaedra, who brought Quad to the bachelorette party. So why she mad with me is beyond me. Quad said, well, speaking of people who mad with you, let's talk about that. Quad said, now, my thing was, I felt like you and I were good enough friends that even if we have a falling out, we could always come back together and it'll be like nothing ever happened. But then I saw your ass posted up on the internet with my ex's new wife-to-be, and I had a problem with that shit. Quad said she saw the picture on the internet and she was wondering where is the loyalty, and she was challenged with the question of what is Heavenly's heart posture. Heavenly ain't into all them bunch of formal answers. Heavenly said, well, I really didn't think you gave a it was never my intent to be malicious. I honestly thought this was funny. Sweet Tea, I hope you paying attention. She letting you know she was playing in your face. Quad said, well, I accept your apology, but I do wish that in the moment you would have considered me. You would have thought about, well, how would this make Quad feel? She said, I just wonder sometimes where's just a little bit of support for Quad. Heavenly said, now you gonna have to cut the bullshit. You stepped away from the group just like you did when you were going through your tumultuous divorce and you weren't reaching out to anybody. Quad said, but y'all also weren't reaching out to me. Heavenly said, yeah, I get that. That's true, but you're going to have to own something today. Quad said, I'm not mad at what you're saying. I'm not owning it, but the ownership is shared across the board. The same way that I could have reached out to y'all could have reached out to me, and that's true. But I do feel like from the perspective of all the other ladies, when you have a person that just withdraws and retreats whenever they're ready, and then they show back up whenever they're ready, it puts you in an uncomfortable position. When you don't have a path for mutual communication, it kind of makes people feel like they have to kiss your ass. in order to be your friend. Like, there is no mutual exchange of concern in this relationship because she don't talk to us. And in order for us to get any communication with her, we have to go out of our way to go find her and to tell her, we care. Can you please talk to us today? And so I think that's where you come into the whole concept of, in order to have a friend, you must first be a friend. You have to show yourself friendly in order for people to be friendly with you. If you come off standoffish and not interested in communication or conversation, you cannot expect that people are going to beat your door down to give it to you. Well, they were doing good. They were having a diplomatic conversation, but that is going left real quick. Heavenly just looking at Quad. Quad said, say what you want to say. Heavenly said, you know what? I feel like the problem is you don't take ownership for anything. Quad said, and I feel like you're lying because that's not true. Well, all right. Phaedra is me and I am Phaedra. Phaedra just sitting there eating her damn fruit, watching them like Venus and Serena, like this is about to go left right now. Heavenly says, see, this is the frustration that everybody has with you. Quad said, I'm saying, Heavenly said, don't talk to me that way, Quad. You know I get upset. I said, Lord, just say I could have reached out. I could have done better. Quad said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I could have reached out. I could have done better. Heavenly said, now moving on. Are you going to reach out to the ladies? Because I think they actually miss you. Quad said, well, I miss them too. Girl, call your friends. So we move on to Dr. Jackie's office where she's seeing Debrat and Judy again. Child, I just cannot with the crossover content. Dr. Jackie is talking about how mesmerized Debrat has been by this whole process of her pregnancy. And quite honestly, that's probably what irritates the shit out of me about the whole thing. Like, it would be cute if they didn't act like they were 15. Like, if it wasn't this, oh, what's this? And what's that? And is my body supposed to do this? It drives me up a fucking wall. Like, I totally get that this is her first pregnancy and all of the excitement that goes along with that, but this ain't the first pregnancy, period. Now, as Dr. Jackie is seeing Debrat, she does speak to a very major issue for Black women in healthcare, about the disparities in healthcare for Black women and how we have a very, very high mortality rate. As a Black woman, I have experienced said disparities firsthand. And so the one thing that I do love about this scene is that we have a real healthcare professional, a real doctor who is in the field who speaks to this issue because it's very real. So then we move on to Cecil and Simone's house where they're at home doing some sort of a vision board memory project where they're taking a bunch of their old family pictures, the favorite pictures they've taken over time. They're going to put them together on some sort of a vision board so that if they have down moments, angry moments, I can't stand your ass moments, they can go look at the vision board and be reminded of exactly why they're there. So they're going through the pictures and they're all nostalgic and, oh, this is from that cruise and from that birthday and, oh, they were so little. Simone said, yeah, this bringing back a lot of memories, primarily them living here. Speaking of, let me ask you, what the hell was our son talking about the other day that you told him about going to summer school? Cecil said, oh, yeah, I told him he should look into getting an internship. Simone said, yeah, well, I think you should look into talking to me before you talk to the kids. I think you should talk to me and we should talk to them together because you give bad advice. Cecil said in the confessional that between he and Simone, he is the more lenient parent. He said in Simone's life story, she knew that she was going to be a doctor by the time she was 13. She said, no, by the time I was 12. He said, well, 12, and she didn't miss. Simone told Cecil, I want Miles to finish school. He said he is going to finish. She said, and if he doesn't finish by next May, then what? What's your answer or excuse then? Cecil said, well, if he ain't finished next May, he just ain't finished next May. Simone told Cecil, well, you know, I feel like we have two different approaches in terms of pushing our kids forward, and we have to get on the same page. She said, now, once we go about buying our kids a place to live, we have to come to an agreement that after a year, no matter what, they have to start paying rent. Cecil's concern is, well, what if we put them in a predicament that they can't afford to maintain? So yeah, he goes out and gets a job and he's making money, but what if he can't afford to pay this kind of rent? Simone said, you don't know that that's going to be the case. Cecil said, well, it's possible. She said, Cecil, you're being unreasonable. Well, I wouldn't call it unreasonable. I think he's considering all possibilities, that especially in the economy that we live in right now and the lifestyle that your children have been made accustomed to, what if we are setting them up for something that they can't afford. Now, I also get where Simone is coming from, where she said, listen, Miles is getting ready to be 26 years old. We have to push him out of the nest and let him know that his wings work. I get that. The issue is, how beyond paying bills have you set your child up for success? Because a lot of the times people will just say, oh, my kid is smart, and so you should be able to figure it out. No, that's not how life works. If the child is struggling academically and they're either struggling with narrowing a lane or a major, they're struggling with grasping concepts or information, they're struggling with completing work, whatever it is that they're struggling with, have we tried to remedy those issues? Because what is the actual struggle? Simone said in the confessional that she feels like they're coddling the hell out of their kids. I get where Simone is coming from, but I think for me, it's about figuring out where the deficit is. It's not just, well, they got to go and you got to get out and you got to figure it out. I think there's a responsibility to help the child figure it out, even if the child has become an adult. They're a brand new adult trying to figure out adult life, trying to find direction and plant roots for what's going to be the rest of their life. So I think it requires a little bit more than when are you going to be done? Now, we don't see them behind closed doors. We don't see them when the cameras are off. So I don't know what kind of support Simone is giving to her children. So it's not to say that she doesn't support them, but in my experience, I have seen more parents than enough that, especially once their kids get off to college, life is your problem, not mine. Now, I don't think that's the case here. I think in this case, Simone wants to do as much as she possibly can to help her children and to set her children up for success. I think she does want to see them stand on their own 2 feet, because that's another security you need as a parent, that especially as I'm getting older and you're getting older, I need to know that you can take care of yourself. But I don't think that every child fits the cookie cutter mold. And so when you see that your child is struggling to follow whatever the protocol for life is, I think you have to step in and say, well, let me help you through those deficits. That's my only thing. Cecil said, well, thus far in life, our boys have not been on the same track that you were on. Simone said, yeah, I was on the fast track. He said, yeah, you were on the fast track with your fast. Yes. Well, she became a doctor, so. He said, they not fast like you. They slow. She said, yeah, like you. So we move on and we go to Phaedra's house, where she's dressed like Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard, but she's out delivering invitations. Girl, her damn assistant don't even know what's going on. He said, what are these invitations we out here delivering? She said, well, I'm planning an event for the ladies because we do have one lady in the friend group, Quad, who feels like she's been ostracized by the group. Phaedra said they might have tried to put Quad out of the group, but as an attorney, she knows that everyone is entitled to due process, so she's just making sure that Quad enjoys her constitutional rights. Phaedra is a damn lawyer everywhere but in the courtroom. Phaedra goes on to tell her assistant that Quad feels like she's been buried alive by this group, and as a mortician, she decided to put together an event about resurrection and rebirth. Y'all just ain't got nothing to do. Phaedra got this random vampire in Brooklyn looking ass man going to these people's doors with a black briefcase, but you can open the briefcase if you don't get your ass off my porch. Toya looking confused and Simone just going along with the shit. You know Heavenly from the hood. She slammed the damn door. Get the hell from around here. And he's standing there like he got a bill collector background, just knocking on the door. Didn't she just slam the damn door in your face? Heavenly finally reached inside the briefcase, and I'll be damned if these invitations ain't church fans. Just Phaedra. Now you around there talking about them people funeral wedding program and you got church fans as your invitations, ma'am. So we move on to Toya's house, where she's hosting an IV refresher event for the ladies. And I don't know what in the trap house hell Toya got going on, but she couldn't invite me to her house. Every damn time she has something, somebody got a needle trying to prick and stick some damn body. So the first ladies to arrive are Simone and Sweet Tea. Well, Toya says Sweet Tea is the reason she's having this party all together, because she talked to her during her honeymoon and she knows that sis is tired and could use some rejuvenation. Of course, Sweet Tea comes in and the first thing Toya want to know is about their sex life. Did y'all have sex the first night of the honeymoon? Sweet Tea said, hell no, because my cycle came on the first night of the honeymoon. Toya said, well, I could relate because Eugene and I didn't have sex until the second night of our honeymoon because we were so exhausted. Here comes Simone. Well, not us. We slept the entire flight to our honeymoon. So once we landed, it was on and popping. And that's the last damn time it was on and popping, because you don't touch that man and you don't let that man touch you. Simone said in the confessional that as newlyweds, she used to treat sex like a job. She would actually check in and see, hey, you want to come get a little bit? She said, but she done quit that damn job. Well, I'm waiting on the rest of the ladies to get there, and they start hooking up IVs and poking the needles and stuff, and it ain't gonna be nobody but the three of them. But I guess it's because Toya done told them she paying for this. These are only two she willing to pay for. So once they get their IV set up, Simone goes into Dr. Simone mode, and she said, well, a little while ago when we were talking while we were eating, you mentioned that you all didn't have sex until the third day of your honeymoon, and that's just a little bit abnormal. So tell me a little more about that. Why weren't you all having sex? Sweet Tea said, because my cycle came on. She said, now, honestly, it started spotting, and I started to think, well, maybe I'm pregnant because my cycle had just gone off and it just keeps coming on. Simone said, well, that's not good because that's something called irregular bleeding. And she's explaining in the confessional that there are a whole lot of causes for pelvic pain, which I guess is something Sweet Tea must have mentioned aside from what we saw. Dr. Simone said there are so many causes of pelvic pain, and many of them are known to cause infertility. Now, of course, that's an issue because one of the priorities of Sweet Tea and Greg's marriage is to have a baby. So Sweet Tea said this is something she's going to look into and work on, and they changed the subject. So she's supposed to be getting up to get this IV menu. Girl, I don't know how many options they got for what they can put in your damn arm. But while she's getting the menu, she comes across this damn church fan. And she's looking at it about, what's this? Toya said, you ain't get one? Simone said, well, could it possibly be that this is a Phaedra sponsored event for Quad? Is that maybe why Sweet Tea wasn't invited? Toya said, well, if the event is for Quad and that's why Sweet Tea wasn't invited, why the hell was I invited? Because I don't fuck with Quad. I don't fuck with nobody who tried to play my family. Sweet Tea said, well, maybe she's trying to be the peacemaker. Toya said, at this point, the peace has been made. Ain't nothing left to talk about. So they ain't got these IVs out their arm yet. And Toya want to know if they can go to Jackie and get this last old shot they got where they get the shot and they man, damn. Simone said, no, because I hate to say it, but Sweet Tea, at your age, you shouldn't need any help with a lubrication. Sweet Tea said, I don't need no help. I'm just fine. I'm trying to figure out, why is she directing that at Sweet Tea? Because maybe they cut out some shit that we didn't see. But Toya is the one who asked about this old shot and every other shot y'all always get. So we move on. We see everyone headed to this event that Phaedra has planned. Now, Sweet Tea was not invited, but I guess she said, turnabout is fair play. Y'all came to my shit, I'm coming to yours. So Toya, Simone, and T are riding to the event together. Toya says she copied the invitation so that Sweet Tea could try to get in. She said, but what you gonna do when they turn you away at the door? T said, shit, I'm gonna go home. I don't give a damn. Like, so in the other vehicle, we have Jackie, Heavenly, and Heavenly's friend, Alicia, that are riding to the party together. And Alicia is asking them, well, how come y'all always talking about Quad, but y'all don't ever talk to Quad? Dr. Jackie said, we done talked to Quad for 10 years. We tired. Heavenly said, well, I'm assuming we'll get to talk to her tonight because, I mean, if Phaedra is inviting her, she don't belong at, I'm sure she invited her to this. Well, Toya is pre-gaming on the ride. She getting started before they get there. About, yeah, T, I was wondering if Heavenly is going to confront you tonight about how she was treated at your wedding. T said, how she was treated? Toya said, yeah, she was upset that you took her name off the list and didn't tell her anything. Sweet Tea said, well, I didn't think I needed to say anything since she said everything. She had the nerve to talk about me and my marriage behind my back, so I didn't think I needed to announce to her that I took her off the list. So Simone asked T, well, are you going to calmly approach the matter? She said, I don't know. If I swing, y'all just pull me back. Oh, hell no. You might need to go ask your husband for an evaluation. Well, the ladies finally arrive at the location for the party, and I'll be damned if it ain't the Willie Watkins funeral home. Phaedra need her ass whooped. Heavenly said, it's some bullshit. I know this ain't brought us to the funeral home where dead bodies at night. Heavenly said, I ain't no real doctor for a reason. I'm a damn dentist because I can't handle this bullshit. So they all get out, they all going inside, and they hey, hi on each other, trying to act like this ain't absolutely weird. Heavenly run up to Sweet Tea, like, hey baby, how you doing? She said, don't baby me, go on. She said, Heavenly got a whole lot of damn nerve to be acting like ain't nothing happened, and hey baby, how you doing? When she knows she been talking cash about my marriage. She said, I'm still upset about that shit. Well, you know one of the reasons you still upset about that shit? Because Heavenly hit a nerve. Not to say that it's not offensive to have somebody come to your party and talk shit about you and your man and what's going on between y'all, but Heavenly told some level or some version of the truth. She spoke to a real insecurity, a real concern you have in the back of your head about whether this is the right thing to do, whether this marriage is going to actually last, whether we're actually compatible. Is this man who I'm telling the world he is? And that's why you mad. So Heavenly done laughed in Sweet Tea face. Sweet Tea pissed off. They all come to the realization they at the right place, which is this damn funeral home. They sit down for whatever program, ceremony, exorcism is about to happen. And here comes Phaedra. Phaedra come busting around the corner like the damn bride of the Grim Reaper. What are you doing? They start this whole ceremony. Phaedra starts by welcoming and greeting everyone. And when I tell you, Phaedra has church shade all through her. Phaedra said, well, I'd like to welcome everyone. And Sweet Tea, I see that you're here, but you weren't invited. And we're glad you're here because the event is She is Risen and you've risen too. You just got married and we're happy for you. So Phaedra starts the speech about how the whole theme of this event is the phoenix rising, and we're all like phoenixes rising from the ashes, and we have very intelligent women here. We have gynecologists, and we have a dentist, and we have a tennis expert. Just why, Toy? Phaedra will let you know she don't have no respect for your unemployed ass. Now, Phaedra continues with her speech about how sometimes the people in your support system will leave you for dead, but this phoenix has risen. Girl, Heavenly country apple ass. Like, yes, get up. She got all the damn applause till these people turn the corner, playing a saxophone and dragging a damn casket. Just what the fuck is this? So the people walk the casket to the front. They open the casket. I'll be damned if the casket don't say mother on the inside. You right, mother. Don't you know Quad sat her crazy ass up in that casket? About some of you girls have given me an early death sentence. You done lost your natural mind. Why would you lay your ass down in them people's casket? Heavenly is cackling at this foolishness. They get this heifer up out the casket. Heavenly said, well, the bitch was dead and now she alive. Quad said, yes, she is risen. What in the death becomes her are you talking about? Quad said, there is indeed a funeral today, but it is not one for Miss Quad, but it is indeed one to bury the pettiness, the turmoil, the strife that lives amongst this group. Are any of you ready? When she asked who's ready and got absolutely no response, she decided she was going to pull some third grade teacher bullshit. I'm going to go person by person. Jackie, are you ready? Jackie said, ready for what? You wouldn't get me to sign up for the damn afterlife. Yeah, because y'all don't know. Y'all be playing with spirits and stuff, playing them damn games. Jackie said, ain't no strife for me to bury. I don't have nothing to bury. Thank you very much. Jackie said in the confessional, what kind of damn attention grab is this? You had to do all this to get our attention? She said, you could have called me. Quad said, Heavenly, you and I are sisters. Are you ready to bury the turmoil and the strife? Heavenly said, I ain't got a problem with no damn body. Sweet Tea, I don't have a problem with you either. Like, I don't know why you around here telling people you gonna whoop my ass. I don't know if that was the question, but somehow that is the question, and Heavenly done hijacked this shit, but go ahead. She said, I don't have no problem with nobody. I don't know why I was crossed out at the wedding. I don't know nothing. So since we burying shit, let's bury everything. Sweet Tea said, well, it got back to me that you were saying basically that you think my marriage is gonna fail. Heavenly said, what I said was I was very concerned for you, especially based on the things that Quad has shared with me in the past about Dr. G. I was concerned for you because I actually care about you. Now, I'm sorry that you feel this way, but I stand on what I said. Now, what you can do is you can prove me wrong. Toya said, well, Heavenly, if you weren't supporting them, then why would you come to the wedding? Heavenly said, Toya, cut your bullshit, because you said yourself that they were having communication issues. Well, I guess you get ready to find out the whole damn group was talking about your ass. Toya said, yeah, I did say they were having communication issues, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be married. Well, we know you believe in dysfunction. Sweet Tea looked at Heavenly and said, well, you and your husband have communication issues. You said you had to go upside your husband's head with a frying pan. Heavenly looked like she took a split second to decide whether her career was worth whooping this girl, because you don't tell my truth on TV like that. Heavenly Are you talking about? Bitch. Oh, girl. Sweet Tea said, you heard what the fuck I said. Heavenly said, little girl. Oh, yep, it's about to go left. Now Sweet Tea jumped up. You know she got issues. Heavenly got her ass up too. Heavenly is from the hood. You not gonna make no sudden movements. Heavenly said, little girl, don't do this, because I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm gonna whoop your ass like your mama should have. Yeah, she gonna whoop your ass. Heavenly said, matter of fact, you got daddy issues. That's why you had to marry a man 5 times your age. Quad trying to calm them down, but okay. Heavenly said, yeah, you done raised some shit up in here. Yeah, you did. Quad said, this is my resurrection. Like, I'm supposed to be the only drama going on here. Quad said, if y'all could put y'all fight on ice for just a moment, I have a few things to say and then I'll be out of your way. So Quad starts addressing the ops pew. She started with Sweet Tea. She said, Sweet Tea, you and I have determined that there is no animosity between us and I would like to keep it that way. She just looked around like, yeah, all right. Quad moved to Simone. She said, Simone. Simone said, Quad. Quad said, you know, Simone, there was a time that you and I had a very close-knit relationship. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what happened to that. And if you would join me in letting it all go, I would love for us to rekindle our relationship. Simone said, well, I have one question before I agree to whatever this contract is you offering me. She said, my question is, do you see us all here as equals, as peers, friends, sisters of yours? Or do you see us as something separate and apart and you're on an island all alone? Quad said, well, I don't do too many islands unless I'm flying to them. Girl, but yes, I see us all as one. I see us as one unit working together to get done the things that we need to get done. Girl, just say y'all my friends and I need y'all. So Quad moves on to Toya, who she said she saved for last. She said, because you and I have had some real issues. And of course, they showed us a whole package of all the issues they done had and the words they've exchanged. Quad said, if you're willing to join me in letting it all go, I don't give a damn what you said about me, baby girl, just ma'am. Toya said, you don't give a damn what I say about you, you shouldn't. She said, all the you said about me and my family and you're willing to let go of what I said about you, you shouldn't care. Quad said, I don't. And that's the problem. Quad has these dramatic displays of woe is me with no display of accountability. You want other people to acknowledge, oh, you've said this about me and you've done me so wrong and oh my dear Lord. But then you act like you never said that about them. When Lisa Nicole Cloud and all her antics were on the show, Quad had some man to pop up at her event to say that he was dealing with Lisa's husband. Last season, Quad paired up with Anila to say that Toya had some reputation for sleeping around the neighborhood and they were staging break-ins and all kind of bullshit. You got dirt on your hands too. And that's why people cannot take you seriously, because you have these whole woe is me productions and then act like you've never done anything to anybody. It would be different if Quad were the type to say, hey, don't start no shit with me because I'm the type that if you go low, I'm going to take it to hell. But you're not. You're the type to put lace gloves over dirty hands. Toya said, Quad, you've spoken so negatively of me and my family. Why would I let anything ride? Quad said, well, don't. Quad, excuse me, if I could for a moment, that was your opportunity. That was your moment to say, you know what, Toya, I have said some shit that was out of line and below the belt, and I apologize. And you leave it up to her to whether she wants to accept or reject your apology, but you have to show up as a grown-up that owns their own stuff. Quad said, we'll just keep you on the outs with it. I understand where we stand. Thank you very much. And Quad moved to close her event. She said, I would like to thank everyone for coming to my resurrection. As you can see, I am alive and well and quite swell. Girl, go to Dr. Seuss hell. I wish a friend of me, an enemy would ever in the natural born life invite me to a funeral home for them to jump up out of a casket and they think I wouldn't beat their ass back into it. Toya said in the confessional, this is typical Quad. She likes to do shit like this. She has these whole moments and speeches and monologues that are all about herself. And then she just let the past be the past. Is she nuts? Yes, she's nuts. Well, Toya, you having a whole conversation with yourself ain't too saying either, but I understand. Quad said, well, those of us who are choosing to move forward, will move forward. And those who don't want to be bothered don't have to deal with it at motherfucking all. Phaedra said in the confessional, I was thinking that Quad was going to take this moment to be accountable, to apologize, but I don't think Quad knows how to humble herself, and I'm just a little bit disappointed. Yeah, because she done called in all her favors for this. She got musicians and people marching with the casket and all kind of foolishness going on for you to jump up out this casket and tell these people they can go straight to hell where it looked like you was halfway to. They moved to the next part of the event, which is a repast. Y'all gonna really treat this like a real funeral. Heavenly said this is some of the wildest she has ever seen in her life. They asked for somebody to say grace over the food. Heavenly volunteered real quick. Let me put Jesus' name all over everything in here. So while they're at the dinner table, Phaedra decides she's gonna try to take the opportunity that Quad threw out the damn window, that she's gonna actually have some conversations and try to repair the relationships here. She said, now, I get that there aren't the best relationships here, but there are relationships. Dr. Jackie said, hold on now, but there are some great relationships here that have gone well, as if to say, we ain't the damn problem. So they decide to go around the table and air out any issues that they might have on some speak now or forever hold your peace. But this is the wrong ceremony. The speak now or forever hold your peace was the wedding. Why y'all in these dead people plays? Sweet Tea said, well, I got an issue. She said, Phaedra, you brought Quad to my bachelorette party, and that just was not the place for me to meet Gregory's ex-wife. Phaedra said, well, I spoke to Gregory the next day, not you, and I explained to him why I did that. Sweet Tea said, but that was not the place for me to meet Greg's ex-wife. Now, Phaedra trying to figure out where the smoke coming from. She said, because you didn't have an issue with Quad. Sweet Tea said, no, I didn't have an issue with Quad. I have an issue with you for bringing Quad. Well, you better find your voice. Quad said, well, I hear you, but they said you had been asking about me and combing through my social media. T said, who said that? Quad is in the confessional saying, well, you know, Sweet Tea said she doesn't have a problem with me and I have to respect her for that. But regardless of how country she is or how much she may not fit into this group, we're all right. Now, Quad, this is not giving we are unmoved, unbothered, and not bitter. This is not giving we don't want that man no more. You can have him. This is not giving none of that. So Simone and Jackie try to take over as the voices of reason. And Simone said, listen, can we all acknowledge that we have all offended one another at some point? Simone asked Toya, is there anything that could be done to help you leave it in the past and help us to move forward? Toya said, I need her to stop being so malicious toward me and my family. Phaedra said, now when somebody says malicious, I get it. So Quad, can you acknowledge that at some point you've said something malicious about her and her family? So Quad is doing that aloof about what did I say? What did I say malicious? Toya about lost her Toya said, you called us thieves. So now Quad looking around, yeah, you said that shit. Toya said, and then you go even lower and say that I was sleeping with somebody in the neighborhood. Quad said, now I said that. Did that come out of my mouth? And meanwhile, you were running around saying that I slept with my contractor. Toya said, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. Y'all both was saying low shit about each other. Cut the shit. For some reason unknown to anybody with good sense, Quad and Toya are actually sitting right next to each other at this damn table. So they could just knock each other's head off whenever they ready. Now, Toya starts denying that she ever said anything about Quad sleeping with the contractor, which she did. Quad starts reaching across Toya like she's pointing at Heavenly, but really she's trying to put her finger in Toya's face about you said it to her. You said it to her. Toya said, move your damn hand. Quad start that don't you touch me. Phaedra is in the confessional calling on sweet baby Jesus. Could you please come help us? She said, I thought Quad was going to be doing some apologizing tonight, but it looks like all she going to do is fight with anybody willing to fight with her. Toya said, part of my problem with Quad is Quad wants people to be beneath her, and I'm not going to play that game with her. And you know, the funny thing to me is Quad and Toya are two versions of the same person. They both kind of have that superiority complex where they need to feel this inflated sense of self in order to feel good about themselves when they are in certain circles. Well, as Quad goes to start her, we all came from meager and humble beginnings speech. Heavenly said, no, we didn't. No, we didn't, because Sweet Tea still at her humble beginnings. She just got started. The baby 31, 32 years old. She ain't there yet. Sweet Tea looked like, Don't play with me. Heavenly said, I'm sorry. I'm just joking. You know I love you. I had to do something to stop this bullshit. Simone gets up, start grabbing her stuff about, yeah, this was nice, but I think it's time to go. Simone getting ready to walk out the door. Quad said, well, there are some things I would like to say as well. They said, some more shit? Quad said, yes, of course. There are some things that I would like to say about how I've been treated in this group. They said, we are willing to hear all your grievances, but not one step before the graveyard. Could you talk to us outside a damn funeral home? Please, thank you. As they all leave, and Heavenly said, did we resolve anything today? Quad said, well, I think. Jackie said, no. Heavenly says she does not feel like Quad took ownership of her part in things at this whole dinner. And she doesn't know how she thinks that's going to get her back on good terms with these ladies. She said as far as she's concerned, Quad can climb right back into that casket because that's where her friendships are. And the episode comes to an end with all the ladies leaving. Quad turns to Phaedra and said, well, that wasn't a complete failure. Phaedra just looked at her like, you more removed from reality than I ever thought. This is crazy. Quad looks at Phaedra and said, if you've never seen a phoenix, you're looking at one. Well, phoenix fool, I don't know. Now, speaking of funeral homes and caskets and stuff, I don't know what exactly is going on, but I saw stuff just throughout social media that somehow, some way, people have got the word that Quad is going to be gone from Married to Medicine after the next 2 episodes, about something about her contract didn't get renewed. I don't know. Now, I did see a clip of a live where Phaedra, Jackie, Heavenly, and Quad were all on this live discussing the episode. And soon as Quad went into her rant about her contract and they trying to make it look like she wanted to mistreat the ladies, and that was never the issue. They were bringing her around knowing her contract issues weren't worked out. They went to shut that shit down quick. Phaedra said, I'm getting a call to end the live. Heavenly is trying to, listen, we'll talk about it at the reunion. So I don't know what's going on. Y'all tell me, is something going on with Quad ain't coming back to the show? I would love to know, but that's it, that's all, and I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here listening to me and letting me get this off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.